This is Dr. Amanda Rockinson-Zapku, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the approvals workflow. Note that the approvals workflow can only be accessed by the chair, and it's to be used to correspond with the process of approving a proposal or a manuscript for either dissertation defense or proposal defense. When a candidate is ready to submit a manuscript for review by the chair for proposal defense, they can click Submission Proposal Library and they can upload a manuscript or a document for review, for their chair to review. Every time either the candidate, you as the chair, or committee members upload any manuscript or any document to this library, the chair always receives an automated email that says that proposal manuscript has been submitted, or if it was a dissertation manuscript it would say dissertation manuscript has been submitted. And then it provides a link for where you can access or see the manuscript that had been submitted. When a candidate submits a manuscript to this document library, it is likely you'll go ahead and review it, and then you'll make a decision about it. Either the candidate will need to make revisions, or that you will approve it to send it to the committee members. You can make your decision using the approvals workflow. You click approvals. You can either access it on the main My Dissertation portal page or on the left-hand column. And then you see that you have two options. You have proposal manuscript approval process and dissertation manuscript approval process. Here we're working with the proposal manuscript approval process because we're working with the submission proposal library. Note that both approval processes are almost identical. The only difference is there's an added step in the dissertation process, and that's the editing step. Let's go ahead and scroll over the proposal manuscript approval process, click the arrow button, and then click Edit this item. As you can see, there are 4 different levels to this approval process. There's the chair approval, the committee approval, the research consultant review, and the final approval. Let me briefly define each of these. The chair approval is when the chair first reviews the manuscript and is getting ready to tell the candidate whether more revisions are needed, or it can be sent to the committee members. At the committee approval level, the committee is reviewing the manuscript and is deciding whether or not the candidate needs to make revisions, or that it's approved for the next step, which is the research consultant review. The research consultant reviews the manuscript and then marks it as complete, and then in the final stage the chair decides whether or not the candidate needs to make more revisions before proposal defense, or if it's ready for proposal defense. Let's go back and let's say that the candidate just submitted a manuscript for review. It's the first time you reviewed it, and most likely it'll need revisions. So once you have read the document, you've made the revisions, you've re-uploaded it to the submission proposal library, you can then tell the candidate, go into the approvals and tell the candidate that revisions are required. So you mark revisions are required and you click OK. This will automatically send both you and the candidate the following email. And as you can see, it's here, proposal revisions required, and it says from the chair. The email says your proposal manuscript needs to be revised prior to sending it to the committee, and to please read your comments thoroughly, and then it provides a link to the proposal manuscript library where they can access your comments. You can do this you can send this email out as many times as you want. You just go ahead and you mark revisions required and you click OK. Let's then say it's gone through several revisions and you're ready to go to the approval process and say it can be sent to the committee members. Again, you click the title of the proposal manuscript approval process, you click Edit Item, and now it's been approved, so you click Approved and you click OK. And this time the email sent will be to not only the candidate and you, but it will also be to the committee members, and it'll signal the committee members. It'll say proposal approved by chair and review assigned to committee members, and it tells the committee members that it's ready to be reviewed and where they can access the manuscript that's ready to be reviewed. And then they get to make the decision if revisions are required or the manuscript has been approved. Note, however, only the chair can make that decision, so the committee members need to send that decision to the chair. Also note that even though the outside LU committee member will receive this email, currently they cannot access SharePoint, so either the chair or the candidate will need to be responsible to send the actual manuscript to the committee member, the outside committee member. After the committee members have reviewed the manuscript and either said yes, it's ready for approval, or no, it needs more revisions, that information can be registered into the approval process. Again, you scroll over the item, you click Edit Item, and as you can see, the committee approval can be marked as revisions required or approved. If it is marked as revisions required, again, it sends out an automated email and it tells the candidate that proposal revisions are required from the committee, and then again gives them a link. If the committee approves it and the chair says it's okay, then what happens is an automated email is sent to the candidate, to the committee members, to the chair, and the research consultant. It automatically says the research consultant is asks the research consultant to provide feedback within 2 weeks, and it provides them with a link to the document library. Once the research consultant receives this email, reviews the manuscript, uploads it back into the same submission proposal library, the research consultant can mark the manuscript as complete. They've reviewed it, they've provided their comments. And this will send an automated email again to the committee members as well as the candidate, and it just says the proposal's been reviewed by the research consultant, suggestions have been made, and at that point the chair then needs to go back into the approval process and say whether they believe that revisions are required or approval is given. Again, if revisions are required, it'll automate an email to the candidate as well as the committee member saying more revisions are required. Again, remember, every time the candidate re-uploads with those revisions, the chair gets an email, can review the manuscript, and then make a decision. Let's say this time they've reviewed the manuscript and it's been approved for proposal defense. Again, everybody will receive an email. It'll be called a proposal approved for dissertation or for proposal defense, and it just says congratulations, and that they're ready, that the candidate needs to go ahead and start working with the chair to schedule a proposal defense time. This is the approval process. This concludes the tutorial for the approvals process.